happy Friday. Just hopping in on here real quick. Name is Greg Stasinski, for those of you who don't know. So 2025, I'm going to introduce a podcast sample of sobriety. It's going to be focused on what addiction looks like. Not only people in active addiction, people in recovery, people on the fence. I kind of want to tap into, every little detail with drug addiction, alcoholism, mental health issues. I think there is a need for somebody to talk about it in an open and honest way. I'm going to do interviews. I'm not just going to interview people who, have long-term sobriety, but I would love to interview people in the mix of active addiction, people who work in the recovery field, the men and women, policemen, firefighters who respond to the overdoses, the drug deals gone bad, the crime element that is attached to addiction. I think there's a lot there. I think there is the ability to get a lot of content, not just sit down interviews, but maybe get out and actually interview people just on their day-to-day routines, dealing with people in mental health and addiction. I did 2 walks, one in the summer of 2022, which was from Green Bay to Cudahy, and I did a walk last summer from Superior, Wisconsin to Cudahy, Wisconsin. And when I did that, I definitely felt like I tapped into something that was there. I had a lot of people reach out to me, really got involved in just talking about addiction, talking about my own issues. But in the process of that, I was thinking about, and I learned a lot and met a lot of people with different aspects of addiction. People, addiction, recovery and addiction looks a lot different in Milwaukee than it does in Superior, Wisconsin. And that got me thinking, like, what does it look like all over the place? I would love to interview people in different parts of not only the state, but the country to see, what the day-to-day life of an addict is there. I would love to interview addicts. I would love to interview people, on the front lines, the police officers and firefighters responding to this stuff, just to see, how they actually feel. Do they look at us as just another, junkie who overdosed, or, how are they affected by it? You got to obviously have it's got to have an impact on you. If you are dealing with that on a day-to-day basis, it has to have some kind of impact. I also would love to, as awful as this might sound, interview people who are actively selling drugs, part of that culture, because there's a reason. Obviously money, but, it's a poverty thing. It's a status thing, and there's lots of reasons behind it. And I think, understanding addiction is part of understanding all of that, as that part of the lifestyle too. Because when people recover, they don't just recover from addiction. It's recovering from the lifestyle. It's, a lot of people fall in love with just the process of getting drugs ready. Not even using, but it's, whatever their drug of choice is. It's the process of getting the drugs, preparing the drugs. Before they do the drugs, you get addicted to that too. So there's a lot here. I think, between sit-down interviews, just individual talking sessions, guests that I'm going to have, people that are close to me that know the field and the lifestyle so amazing, that I think there's a lot there too. So I'm excited. I didn't mean for this even to be this long. It was supposed to be like a 1 minute, hey, this is the plan for the future thing. But there's a lot there. It's obviously going to look a lot more professional. This is literally on my phone. I have equipment on the way, nothing too fancy, because I am a guy in recovery on a budget with 2 beautiful young daughters. But yeah, look for a lot this year, man. I'm excited to, I guess give my take on it, but also learn and see how far I can take this. I think we can get some merchandise that is out there to support recovery. I think there's a lot that we can do. There's a lot of different avenues, and I'm open for suggestions. I'm open for feedback, and again, like, beginning of the year, I'm going to do a couple episodes before I even air anything. So I'm going to have a lot of content done. Once I get to a point where I have enough to at least cover me for a few weeks, I will then announce the date of the first podcast, and we're going to get off and running. So please continue to like and support. Any feedback is amazing. I look forward to giving you guys my insight on, addiction, recovery, mental health, things I dealt with. and hopefully, continue to learn and grow as a person. But not only that, but now grow as a podcaster. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll keep fighting for recovery.